Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aina Natasha binti Suzanne with metric number of 2025152725. Today I will be explaining about my code, which is about linked list and array list. It is about inventory system of Amina store.
The linked list class. Well, the linked list contains three important node reference, which is node first, which point to the first node, last point to the final node, and current, which is the use to traverse the link. The constructor initialize all three reference to null, meaning the list start out as empty. So we have two insertion method, which is insert at front to add a new node at the beginning of the list. And if the list is empty, both first and last will point to the new node. If it's not, the new nodes become the new first node and links to the old first node. Next is insert at the back as a new node at the end of the list. Again, if the list is empty, both first and last become the new nodes. Otherwise, the current last node's next pointer is updated to point to the new nodes, and then last is updated. Then we have a method to remove element. Remove from front, remove and return the first element. If the list is empty, it throws an empty list exception. Otherwise, it grabs the first node data, then update first to point to the next node. If the list had only one element, both first and last are set to null. Next is remove from back. Remove from the last element. If the list has only one element, again, both reference become null. If the list has more elements, the method walks through the list using the current pointer until it finds the nodes right before the last one. That nodes then become the new last, and its next pointer is set to null. The class also allows us to traverse the list. There are a few methods, which is get first, move the current pointer to the first node and return its data. Get next, move current to the next node and return the next node's data. If current is already at the last node, it returns null. And then get last, move current to the last node and return its data. There are also size method which count how many nodes are on the list by traversing from the first node until reaching to the end of the node. The display element method goes through the list and print each node's content. This is useful for debugging and viewing all the stored elements. Finally, there is empty method check whether the list is empty by simply seeing if the first node is null. Now, I will be explaining the node class, which is quite simple. It is the building blocks of the linked list. A linked list cannot function without nodes because each node stores both data and link to the next one. This node class has two main attributes, which is data that stores a customer object. Next, this point to the next node in the linked list. There are two constructors in the class. The first constructor takes a custom object and sets the next pointer to null. This is useful when creating a node that doesn't yet link to anything. The second constructor is more flexible. It takes both customer's object and a node reference. This allows you to create a node that immediately links to another node. This constructor is used, for example, when I want to insert at the front of the linked list. The class also includes two simple accessor methods, which is get customer, that return the customer data stored in the nodes, and get links, return the reference to the next node in the list. Well, in summary, the node class is a simple container that holds one piece of data and a link to the next node. The exception class, this class is used to handle situation where a linked list operation is attempted on an empty list. The class has a single constructor, which called the parent constructor with a custom message, the list is empty. Whenever a method in the linked list, like remove from front or remove from back, is called on an empty list, this exception is thrown. This alerts the user that the operation cannot proceed because the list has no element. So this is the custom implementation of an array list in Java. Well, the class has three main variables: data, which is an array that stores all elements; length, which tracks how many items are currently in the list; and max size, which defines the maximum capacity of the array list. There are two constructors. The default constructor creates an empty list with no size, while the second constructor takes an integer and creates an array list with a fixed capacity, initializing the internal array with the size. Next, we have the insertion method, which I use to, insert at the back, add element to the end of the list if it's not full, insert at front, by calling the add method with index 0. The add method allows insertion at any specific index. If the index is valid and the list is not full, the method shifts the existing element to the right to make space to the new element. And then, to access or modify a value to method, which is the get data, return the element at a given index, and set data, updates the elements at a given index. Both methods perform checks to ensure the list is not empty and that the index is within the valid range. Next is to remove the elements. We have three operations, which is remove adds, deletes the element at a specific index by shifting element to the left and reducing the length. Remove first simply calls remove at 0, and remove last, which is removes the element at the last index. Several helper methods that I used, which is clear list, will reset the list by setting the length back to 0. Is full, check if the list has reached its capacity. Is empty, check if there are no elements. And print return a string containing all elements in the list. Now, to support error handling, we use a separate class called ArrayList exception. This class extends Java's runtime exception, and it simply passes a custom error message to the parent constructor. This allows our ArrayList to throw a clear, readable exception whenever something goes wrong. For example, when the user tries to insert into a full list or access an invalid index, it will help determine error easier.
Next, I will explain the customer class, which is used to represent for a customer and their order details in our system. The customer class has multiple attributes that stores information about both the customer and the item they purchase. Customer name, customer address, customer phone number, which is the basic and customer information, voucher that store any discount codes they have, like VC010 for 10% discount or FS045 for RM 8 ringgit discount. Next are the constructor. There are two constructors, which is default constructor that initialize all string to null and quantity to 0, parameterized constructor which initialize all attributes based on values provided when creating a customer object. The third one is the setters and getters. The class includes standard setters and getters method for all attributes. Setter is to allow updating the customer's data, while getter allow retrieving the data safely. Next is the call method, or like processor. I have used 4, including the 2 string. The first one is calculate price, which has parameter string item code and the item quantity. Next is the voucher taker, which is have parameter of string voucher and double total. It determines the discount based on the voucher. The next one is to determine stock. It returns the available stock based on the item details, type, and item code. Return -1 if an invalid item code is entered. Example, SKI010 has 30 units in stock under skin guard. The next one is the toString method. It's format and prints customer and item details nicely.
There are main method and file reading. For example, open customer info.txt using file reader and buffered reading. It reads each line split by the semicolon using string tokenizer and extract customer and item info. It will then create customer object and insert them into the linked list, which is named product LL. The insertion will be at the front. Next is manually data entry by the staff. I use the G option pin to prompt staff to add new customer. It will read the customer or item details via console input, create customer object, and insert them into the same linked list as previously. The next one is generating receipt. It opens customer list text to write receipt details. It reads through linked list using the get first and get next method. It also calculates item total, delivery charge, voucher, discount, tax, and total order price. It will then write formatted order details into file. Next is the update quantity or item by search customer name. I use the J option pin to update quantity for specific customer. It will search linked list by the customer name and update the item quantity. It will then display the updated order in console. Next is removing the invalid order. So this is the code that I use to remove and store in array list. Declare the linked list for wrong data entered, and I will also declare the array list, which is wrong data EL. So first, it will check for orders with item quantity below or equal 0. It will then remove this product from product LL linked list and store them in wrong data LL and wrong data AL, and move the valid order to the temporary list, which will restore the valid order to product LL. Next, it will show the output of list customer after removing the wrong output. So for the next one is the sorting and categorizing by item type. So it will create separate linked lists and skincare, cosmetic, and combo. Copies customer orders into the respective list based on item details. This one. And the next one is the search and display item based on item code that user key in. So it allows staff to search order by item code using the option pane.
Next is for the staff report. For the report, I have used all of the summation, which is process, maximum and minimum, average and total. So the best setting is for the maximum and the low setting is for the minimum.
The last one is to display the data inside of the array list. So the data inside it is the raw output inserted by the customer, which have 0 quantity item or below 0. And at the end of it, it is the total of every type of skincare, cosmetic and combo.
And that is all from me. Thank you so much.